Welcome back to another New World video. This time we've got the topic that I wanted to bring up from that first big expansion reveal video that we've done a couple of videos back on the channel now. And that is regarding the fact that the expansion, New World's first ever expansion, 2 years after it's originally released, is going to be a paid for expansion. We're going to talk about the price. We're going to also talk about the fact that like there's a additional season pass that you may or may not choose to buy. The fact that there's transmog tokens in the games that you can buy, skins on the store, and then obviously the original base game cost if you don't already own it. I just wanted to have a little chat about it really, and just see what your thoughts were. This is like almost like a bit of a, I'd say it's probably like a 60-40 in the Twitch chat at the minute on my channel. From the first day of this all being released. So I just kind of wanted to see what you guys on YouTube thought. Obviously, again, as we're going through this video, if you've got any comments or you want to put your 2 cents in there, feel free, pop that in the discussion box down below. The comments and all that kind of stuff. Right. So let's start off then. So if we go by New World's obviously announcement here, we'll get the full information. So greetings, adventurers. Ride mounts, wield a new weapon, and explore transformed lands when New World Rise of the Angry Earth launches on October the 3rd. We can't wait for the players to experience every new feature, including the story behind the Fall of First Light in our first paid expansion. Discover Eternum's next chapter for $29.99. This is obviously in dollars. So obviously if you're not from the US, just like me, just go convert that. I think it's like 23, 24 pounds in the UK. New players can pick up both the base game and the expansion for $69.99. It's a little chunky, as part of the New World Elysian Edition bundle. And then obviously some bits and bobs there to look forward to season 3. Now, so yeah, we all know the model of New World. Okay, this is standard. We've all known this. If you bought the game back in what was it, 2021, or maybe you pre-purchased it a little bit earlier, you knew what this game was going to be. It's going to be you buy the box, the base of the game, if you like, and then eventually there'll be some expansion. They never once said there'll be paid expansions, but let's just look at the various different models you can have in an MMO. There are other MMOs out there, like let's say, for example, World of Warcraft, where not only do you have to pay for your box expansions as well, so they also charge you, and they're one of the biggest MMOs on the planet, probably the biggest MMO on the planet, but they also charge you monthly to log into the game. So even though you purchase the game, if at any point you stop subscribing to the monthly fee, I think it's 10 or 15 pounds, give or take, you can't log in and play your character. You've owned the game, but you don't actually have the ability to log into the game unless you pay the subscription monthly fee. Let's look at other future games, for example, because World of Warcraft is a game that obviously come out in like 2004. Future games, we've got Ashes of Creation. Now, they're obviously the complete opposite to New World. I've seen the main sort of, not developer, the main like sort of owner of the whole Ashes of Creation, Stephen Sharif. I've seen him mention multiple times. You'll never pay for a box or a base version of the game, and you'll never pay for any expansions. So they're the opposite to New World. However, you will still need to subscribe. So you could play for 100 hours, 5,000 hours, and if you ever want to log into your character at any moment, you have to be monthly subscribed. If you roughly work out the monthly subscriptions from games like World of Warcraft and from, say, Ashes of Creation, which is obviously a future one, they're around 10 or 15 pounds a month, like we've said. So the expansion fee here is $29.99. But if you've played New World for the past 2 years since it came out, you've never once paid the subscription fee. And if you did pay subscription fee, that is a heck of a lot more money than $29.99 after 2 years of content. Bearing in mind, they have literally updated this game like every couple of weeks. Big monthly updates, big quarterly updates, tons of extra. I'm not going to go through the content, but So there is an argument here from some people to say, oh my God, we have to pay. And I'll be honest, I'm not in that camp. I am not in that camp, because after the base game of the game, the only things you can pay for in New World, because there is literally zero pay to win. Don't listen to anybody on YouTube or Twitch who says New World has pay to win with, for example, the season passes that they do. You get a couple of items, not really items. The items are also random loot generated garbage at the moment. In the future expansions, they may be a little bit better. We'll have to look at that. But for now, when you open up these cash chests from the paid side of the season pass, they are garbage. I've never got a single item in 2 full seasons now across 2 different characters that I would ever use. So the items that have come out are garbage. You do get, for example, at the moment in season 1 and season 2, you do get some umbral shards that drop, and you can use them to slightly level up your gear score But the amount that you actually get, by the way, let me just put this in context. The actual amount of Umbrel shards you get from season 1 or season 2, the paid side, is about the same amount of running 1 or 2 expeditions. And for example, if you did Genesis, you could probably do that in 15 minutes or quicker. So are you really paying to win for 30 minutes worth of Umbrel shards? I personally don't feel like that falls into a bracket of pay to win. So in New World, you can either do the season passes, which again, you don't actually have to pay for these, by the way. Let me just mention this to anybody who doesn't play New World. They bring out season passes. We're now on season 2. As season 3 starts, the expansion starts. And I can't remember the exact price. I think it's around about £12, you know, £13. This is like conversion rate or whatever, because you got to buy the in-game tokens to then pay for the expansion. So it's roughly around about that. And again, you don't have to. So every time they brought out, when they brought out season 1, they brought out a new expedition, a bunch of new content, new story mode, all that kind of stuff, all bits and bobs of like seasonal content that come out every couple of weeks. You don't actually have to pay for that. You can just log in and play the whole of season 1. And then, for example, they did the same with season 2, and you don't have to pay for it. It's included. You've already bought the base game. The season pass is there. It's just additional content. The only thing you're paying for is if you want the additional rewards on the season pack track. You can skip that. You don't have to pay. So you can't even put that factor into the, oh, you're going to pay for seasons. You don't actually have to pay for them. So I think that's an invalid point in my opinion. And then losing track a little bit there. So sadly, you've obviously got skins in the store. Again, not pay to win at any point. It's nothing to do with that. It's just some additional skins. You know, as they don't charge monthly, they are a company that need to make revenue. I don't care if it's Amazon Game Studios or whether it's Tim from down the road, Game Studios in his garage. It's still a company that needs to try and make money. So don't give it the whole Amazon got loads of money, because that's not how businesses work. Amazon Game Studios don't just get to leech from the overall Amazon pot. They need to be continuously making money, or the devs won't get paid and all the other things won't get paid, and then the game will collapse. So they do need to have continuous revenue from somewhere. But what I'm trying to say is in New World, it's completely optional. You don't actually have to put money into the game after the base game. Now, expansion comes out, like I said, $29.99, or other games like Ashes of Creation or World of Warcraft, you subscribe for 2 months. So in January and February, you've basically paid the same amount of money, give or take, you know, a couple of conversion rates, whatever. You basically paid for the same amount as this whole expansion. So fair play. If you're in the other camp, which also will not pay for subscription model games, fair enough, I guess. But then you've come to New World, you paid for a base game, and for 2 years you could have played for 2 to 10,000 hours, who knows, and you've not paid a penny after that initial cost. You divide your thousands of hours that you played in the game to the 20 or 30 pounds the game cost you when it launched, you know. Okay, like I said, anyway, this is new additional content. Again, you don't have to buy this. You can just stop playing the game now, or you can continue to play everything that's already in the game currently. Bar mutations, but we can talk about that in a slightly different video, all about mutations and endgame PvE content. So basically, all I want to ask you here in the comment section down below is, do you think it's fair or not fair, or right or not right? Yeah, just wanted to know what your thoughts and opinions were on paying for the base game. Now, what I thought would actually be a little bit interesting to look at as well is other games, other MMOs out there that are also box cost when you first buy the game. So, for example, here you've got the Elder Scrolls Online. I just picked literally one game just at random. Now, if you scroll all the way down here, you've got to buy the base game. So just like New World, this is $15.99 currently. And then you can buy all... Now, bearing in mind, this game's been out for a lot longer, so there's a lot more expansion. So they kind of bundled them all up. Similar to what New World's doing. They bundled the base game if you want and the expansion. In future, I'm sure they'll do bundles. So, yeah, they can also bundle the games up here. So $49.99. But then they also have an additional option to subscribe for $8.99 a month. So... You know what I mean? If you want to pick up Elder Scrolls Online, I'm just using this as an example game. I'm not saying this is good or bad. Just an example game for anybody saying New World's so bad or whatever. Let's just look at another example MMO. Elder Scrolls Online is the one I picked. £74.96 right now to pick up all of the expansions. Now, we can't directly compare this to New World right now because New World doesn't have this many expansions. Maybe in 6 or 7 years, if the game's still going, we can look back and compare prices. But I presume nobody cares about that. And then you've got the monthly subscribe option as well. Again, option. But... You know what I mean? You're comparing this to New World here, and I don't think in my personal opinion, I don't really think New World are doing anything wrong. So basically, yeah, I throw this back down to the comment section down below. What do you guys think? Do you think the price is okay? $29.99 in dollars for all the content that they've listed. Now, bear in mind, let me just quickly go over some content that they have kind of listed. You've got a new level cap of level 65. You got more attribute points you can get, obviously, for the new end game. They are finishing off the level 40 to 60 level and experience. So basically, if you return back to the game now, you'll go from 1 to 60, and it's a brand new game, brand new level and experience. That's included. New gear score cap of 700. Completely new loot system as well, which you would massively enjoy. We're going to cover that in another video, so like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Come back for the next video to see that. No expertise system anymore, so huge quality of life improvements. They're upgrading the crafting base levels all the way up to 250, and basically giving you a chance to craft base items really easily compared to the past. You're getting a brand new weapon, you're getting the flail, new endgame PvE with the new mutations, basically unlimited cap now. You don't even cap to do any of those. New PvP territory push systems for all those war players out there and war enjoyers. You might come back for that. That seems really exciting. Obviously, we've got mounts in there already, like we've mentioned. There's just like a new, do we say new expedition as well? Yeah, you got a new endgame dungeon that'll also probably go into the into the rotation of mutations as well. Yeah, all the customizable mounts, new heart runes coming in with this as well. You know what I mean? There's like a lot coming into the game for an expansion. I'd call this like a big full-blown expansion, especially, you know, it's hard to compare it to all other games out there and how big or not the content is compared to this, but I'd in my personal opinion, I'm happy to pay $29.99. That's the camp I sit in. I'm just making this video because I have seen a lot of people sort of go the opposite way and be really sort of high-strung and angry that the fact that you have to pay for it. In my personal opinion, I don't really understand why. Again, that's what the comment section down below is for, or come follow me over on Twitch and we can talk about it there. I'm not saying your opinion is wrong, I'm just saying I don't really understand it. If you come into New World and you have any experience of any other MMOs out there, you know this is a box cost game. Therefore, when expansions come out, you buy the box cost of that expansion and then you move on. There's nothing else in the game that you have to pay for. I will say, other than transmog tokens. We can put that in another video as well if you like, but for that one small part of the game, if you do want to smash out tons and tons of transmog outfits, you are basically forced to buy tokens because there's a cap of getting one per week per character, so it will take you weeks and months, like I've said in another video. But other than that one small part of the game, it's basically, it's free to play after you bought the base game, so it's not free, but it's, you know what I mean, it's not a continuous payment. You could put 5,000 hours into this game and you've only paid the initial 20 or 30 pounds, whatever it cost you when you bought it. They also have sales every couple of months as well. A lot of people are picking up New World for 14 pounds just a month and a half ago in like one of the Steam summer sales, so some people have bought it even cheaper than I have. But yeah, comment section down below, let me know what you think. I'm gonna leave you with a little clip at the end of this video because I just watched this a few minutes ago, just popped up on my newsfeed, so here's somebody else's opinion if you don't like mine. And yeah, one last time, guys, like, subscribe, comment down below on the video. That'll be amazing if you can subscribe to my videos. Come check me out over on Twitch. I would really appreciate that. Drop me a follow in advance and come say hi. Let's continue this discussion and all of the New World content over on Twitch as well. And let me just show you this little clip to end the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
I think there's a time and a place to be unhappy about having to spend money on a video game. I just don't think this is one of them. I really don't. It's not a pay-to-win game. It's a buy-to-play game. It's been continuously updated, and they're making an expansion, and they're saying, hey, pay us $30. This is not a $70 expansion. It's not even a $60 expansion. It's not even $50. It's $30. If you are playing the game all the time to where you're worried about not being competitive because you can't afford a $30 expansion, you need to rethink your life on why $30 is that much money for you.